everybody. So I'm trying this vlog thing again, and this time I kind of know what I want to say. Yeah, I have stuff with me. So this book, I'm such a nerd, I always talk about books. It's also really good. And I have to return it to my friend this afternoon, which is why I'm showing it to you guys now. But basically, we all debate in it. I don't know if you can see, but all the stuff in the margins, all of my friends are different colors. So, and it's been all around the country, which is really, really cool. So, just it's colorful. Oh, that page, it's colorful. And it's really cool just to see how the story itself, it's by Kate Bornstein and Esper Bergman, and it's basically a compilation of essays from people from all over the gender spectrum, just writing about their lives or whatever they want to say. And it's really, really interesting to see where everyone's from and their different point of views. And so, in there, usually where we have a lot of writing is because we all disagree with something that the essayist or whatever was saying. So there was one which we all marked up completely. That was everyone can be feminists except for cisgender heterosexual men. We were anyone can be feminists, and we got really mad at the writer. And some of them have really cool names. I have a friend who their male name is Zev, and there was someone in there who wrote an essay whose name was Zev. And so that was pretty exciting because it's not that really common of a name. So basically what I felt doing today was my group piece, gender piece for BNV. My friend is coming home from Minnesota and Massachusetts and wherever else she's been tonight. So we're blocking it out and I get to die in it. And the whole thing is I'm what you see and she's what's inside of me. So I'm gonna read it to you. And have you guys seen the transgender poem called Here, H-I-R? It's on YouTube. You should look it up if you haven't seen it. We have a problem with that poem because basically that poem is an oversimplified version of someone being transgender, and the people that wrote it were not within the trans spectrum. And because it was the first transgender piece to be put on stage at BNV, everyone was oh, it's so great. They're BNV is such an open-minded place and we're bringing new things to the table, and it was a good performance, and it was well written, but it was kind of insulting because it was about you have a transgendered individual and the people in there is it's James but it's Melissa, and they're Melissa, and all she wants to do is wear a tuxedo to prom. And first of all, wearing a tuxedo to prom it's a part, of course, of not even part of a trans experience. I mean, a lot of cisgendered lesbians wear tuxedos to prom. It's not that big of a deal. And they were being transgendered is wearing a tuxedo to prom. And we were ugh. And I feel really bad for I admire the people for bringing something new to the table, and I admire them for their performance style of it, because they had one person was the girl and one person was the guy, and they were back to back this, and they turn around to the front microphone to talk and stuff. But they were I'm not her and I'm not him. You put them together, you put the two pronouns together and you get here. And if you're a female to male transgendered individual, you don't want to be called here. If you identify as male, you want male pronouns, and by someone using a gender neutral pronoun for someone that's identifying as male is just devalidating their masculinity, which is insulting. So that was a lot of words for something really simple. So we have a stanza in our poem that kind of calls out the here poem and is no, you're wrong. And I mean, my poetry coach said that as long as our poem is better than their poem, it doesn't really matter. But I'm happy to get my views out there, but I don't know how I feel about doing it on the same stage. So this poem, it's probably really hard to understand because I'm not in a blocked out setting with mics and whatnot on a stage, but it's a two-person poem, so I'm saying some lines, my friend is saying some lines, and we're saying some lines together. So I'm looking at a piece of paper, so sorry if I'm not staring at the camera, because I know my lines, but I don't know my friends' lines and stuff. Dear Mom, you used to tell me that it's what's on the inside that counts. So unwrap my dressings like a mummy and strip me of pasted-on smiles. Look underneath my boxers and buzz cut and leave me only my outline. Don't you realize that it's still me? Or do you only notice my exterior? Do you recognize your son, Mother? Or are you too busy lying to see me, pressing myself against the bars of her rib cage? She can't hold me in any longer. It's been half a decade since I first found my breasts, and for half a decade I've been avoiding this conversation because you told me never to talk to strangers. And you and I have never met. You've expressly admitted that you don't want me here, but I have been circling the block of her heart, wondering when you'll unlock your willingness to raise a son. We are transsexual, and you will have to endure the agonizing metamorphosis as I tear that little girl from your life and twist like a tapeworm into your affections. We are not her and we are not here, but I've been here the whole time. This is not about wearing a tuxedo to prom. It's about you, being unable to let go of the fantasy child you've created, and you say you understand. That it's just like someone who hates themselves for being fat, but there's no Jenny Craig for gender. I was born with a parasite inside me, but it's this body that's the infection, so I will tear away her chromosomes and capillaries and pull your daughter's nerve cords like elastic from her spine. And I know that this terrifies you, but my nightmares are of ladies' rooms and limited to preschool taught me gender roles, but I can't play dress up anymore, so you think I'm broken. I am severing seams. He reaches inside of the canyons in his female body. I see his hand, grasping for Adam's apples, and I'm trying to pull me up past the presentation he never asked for. As a child, I searched reflective glass for hints of my future, but could never find woman. He tells me he can change my reflection, but we both know that a lifetime of checking our chemicals and shooting up hormones for a fix of self-confidence will not cure us. There is no way to surgically remove the second X, but this is as close as we can get. Mother, I want him to kill me. Mother, I am the testosterone, the scalpels and pronouns, but I am the sculptor. What you see as my destruction is the first time I've ever controlled my own fate. After years of wrapping my body in ruffles, floral, and lace, it's time to pull back the drop cloth and let you see my raw self. Don't look away as I let him devour me, as I pick off this incarnation like a scab, as I beg him to turn me into his scar tissue safety pin, strap-on, and seclusion. I will pry open her throat like a lobster, and it is your fault for painting our room pink. You should have known. This is where I die, and then basically my friend kills me, so I'm like the outside part, like the presentation that you see dying. And then my friend emerges from the inside and is like, look at me, this is who I am. And then my friend says, open your eyes to my gallery, Mother, and see what I have patched together from the remains of her Mary Janes and bathing suits. This little girl that you loved is reduced to ribbons and kept in my pockets. You've been telling me to show the world who I am, but I could be whatever I wanted to be. So that's our gender poem. I don't really have anything else to say right now. I rediscovered a bunch of computer games that I had locked in my basement, like Putt Putt, Freddy Fish, Pajama Sam kind of things, and so I think I'm going to go play them. Also, I haven't done any vlogs in my house. I want to show you my house. I want to show you my room. Is that creepy? Okay. Well, I'm only doing them outside because I kind of don't want my parents to hear me, and my dad has an office in my basement, so they're home right now. Oh, my computer just went off. Okay. Well, I guess that means it's done. And I'm at almost 9 minutes anyways, so. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my poem. My friend and I, we each had our separate gender poems, and they kind of went crash and made this. So, we're gonna go practice that tonight and go to IHOP and eat pancakes. Okay, bye!